listening to the Mothership Connection, your cosmic link to the other side.
Do not attempt to adjust your television. There is nothing wrong. The Mothership flies through cyberspace one more time. Welcome to the Mothership Connection. Dobie Maxwell is my name, also known as the King of Uranus. He is Greg DeWire, the super geek, and I mean that with the utmost respect. If there is a conspiracy topic that he doesn't know about, we are going to start a brand new show and give you time to research it. Our Millennial Falcon, Carrie Turner, is on this side right here. We haven't been on for a while. It's great to be back in the compound.
The compound, yes.
It's so secret we'll have to kill you if we tell you where it is. This is Al, our intergalactic pal. He knows the address. If you can get it out of him, we're not talking.
Django knows the address, our sidekick. You'll see his tail floof by every once in a while. That's our mascot.
Exactly. I think the holidays are coming up. I think we'll get Django a tinfoil cap.
We can do that.
Yeah, to make it for cats.
He knows too much.
So let's catch everybody up, our fives of listeners, and you guys. What have we been doing? What have you guys been doing?
Well, I've been doing same. Reading, watching the TV. Walking Dead just premiered Rick Grimes' last episode. That was big news. Yeah, so spoiler alert. If you haven't watched that episode, turn it down for a minute because I do want to talk about that. I mean, he didn't die, but he's not on the show. They're going to start a movie starring Rick Grimes, showing you what's happening elsewhere in the world instead of just what we're seeing in their little community. Plus, bigger news, double spoiler alert, the zombies are evolving. They're going to start talking. God, this is getting weird. I can't wait. I know, she's angry at me. I'm sorry. Don't be angry. It's still totally watchable. It didn't ruin anything. It made me more exciting because the thing is, the show is starting to ruin itself because it's all, our gang is better than your gang. Give me your stuff. Ugh. Go back to killing zombies. Do something
like
better.
Anything else, though, when a franchise of any kind of entertainment gets popular, it jumps the shark. Just a matter of how long.
And we'll see if this jumped at the shark.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. Now I can't wait to see more
talking.
stuff. This season's got time jumps. Mm-hmm. We're talking, it was a year and a half since the last season. It's a year and a half now. Now after this episode, we're in another, how many years? An 8-year time jump? 9-year time jump? I can't wait. I'm glad it's doing this. I'm sorry to spoil, but the thing is, it's not a spoiler. It's going to reinvigorate you to want to watch it, and you're going to love every second of it. Trust me.
When the zombies are doing, the zombies have talent. America's got zombies. It's going to get too far. It's going to saturate it. I'm sorry to say. I'm glad you guys like it.
To quote Mr. Burns, 1,000 zombies in a room typing at 1,000 typewriters will one day create the best story ever. That's going to be the last episode of The Walking Dead. The zombies are going to write their own script.
We all have our guilty pleasures.
Yes.
So enjoy it.
The zombies.
Dobie, what do you...
More.
I just got back from a cruise ship.
Sailing the 7 seas?
Sailing 6 of the 7 seas. I am so glad to be on dry land. Then you come to the studio and it's flooded, so that's kind of an ironic thing.
Yes, we were swimming. Big thanks to Lori for helping clean up
everybody, yes.
the set. Thank you. Now, speaking of cruise ships, Dobie, have you seen they're going to redo the Titanic 2? Tit 2 is what I call it. I mean, have you seen how small it is compared to some of the ships that you've been on? Mm-hmm. What's the point?
They can fit
this
about
thing's
4
a
of
tugboat.
them into the... Yeah, I work for Carnival. I have my sweatshirt here. And Carnival is the biggest cruise line in the world. I think there are 26 or 27 ships. Wow. That's the only thing I've ever seen in my life that has exceeded expectations. I don't know about you. I saw the Statue of Liberty. Like, it's okay. Looks bigger in the school. Then I saw the Mount Rushmore. It's okay. First time I saw a cruise ship. Holy guacamole! It's like a small town, and there are thousands of people. They have a jail cell. They have a morgue. They have a hospital with a doctor and a full medical staff on the ship.
Just in case.
Just in case. No, there are people. They have a code. Whatever the code is. Like in comedy, when there's a heckler and you want to throw him out, can I get a drink of water up here, please? Can I have a drink of water? That means crack his head like a walnut, drag him around the door. And there is a code that goes over, and I don't know what it is. It's old fart died on deck 6. Poop deck Pappy's face down.
What was it?
Pappy?
Yeah.
What was the Porcosaurus joke you had on that?
Doris the Porcosaurus. Yeah, Doris.
Get her out of here.
I don't know if we talked about this last time, but I was talking to some of the security guards, and security guards are all of Indian descent. They're very nice people, but they're not, let's say, they're not that they don't have a sense of humor, but it's not as open into the surface as it is in America. It's not good or bad, it just is. And I really like those guys, I'm talking to them, and they were telling me the story about a couple that had kids in the cabin, and they were going through a really bad argument. So the old man drank, tanked up on ship fuel, if you will. He put his life jacket on, and he said, take this, and he dove over the boat. So he's drunk, dives over the boat. So you got to say man overboard. If you see it, it's a law. They give you the whole safety thing before. So somebody said man overboard. They stopped the boat, and you can't do a Y turn in this like you can in an alley turning your dad's car around.
No.
So you got a big, and they put the light on, and they found the guy. So they drug him back onto the ship, and they kicked the whole family off at the next port.
Oh my god.
So that must have been must have been a fun family cab back from the I think they were in Bahamas. That's where I was last week too. And it's just it's an amazing thing.
Oh no, getting kicked off in the Bahamas.
It sounds better than it is. Okay, you spend all your money on your cruise. You can't hitchhike home from the Bahamas. How are you gonna get home?
It's true.
Daddy was already in the drink for about an hour and a half. How are you gonna swim home from the Bahamas? What are you gonna do? Hope the mothership lands, picks you up. I will say this though, and we'll move on. I was in Progreso, Mexico, about a month ago.
Is that where they make the soup?
They make the soup there, right next to Campbell, Texas. Big soup wars. And
Fair question.
it's okay, man.
That's why there's a wall
Fig
between
Newtons
Mexico
are named
and
after
Texas.
Fig Newtons are named after a town in Massachusetts.
I think
It's a
Mexico
fair
wants
question.
to build a wall to keep us out. That's the thing. So to make a long story longer, like I usually do, Progreso, Mexico, very big on the UFO sightings. I took a tour. It was $9 American. It was the best tour I've ever taken in my life. The woman that did it was funny. She knew everything about the town. And afterwards, I talked to her. I said, "When part of paranormal," she goes, "Oh, they land here all the time." So I don't know if she's got. It was really funny. So she's totally a believer. And,
They asked, yeah, you said, what do they call a UFO in Spanish? Do they have a translation for that?
a UFO.
All right, I get it.
That's what they call it.
Yeah,
Official
it's
name.
like Larry the Cable Guy said he was going to sing the Star Spangled Banner in Spanish. He said, "Oh, say, can't you see?" It's Larry the Cable. So, all right, good.
Thank you for grinding the show to
I
a
know.
screeching halt.
Sorry.
Once again.
Carrie, what's been going on in your world?
Wedding planning and working.
Are you going to have a paranormal theme for your wedding?
Should. Have our minister.
Sinister Minister.
Sinister minister. Alien head.
Oh, you're going to have your honeymoon in Roswell?
Yes.
That's
we
a
want
good
to travel
idea. The
somewhere.
weather's
We don't know
perfect.
where we're going yet.
The weather's perfect in Roswell.
Yeah, it is.
It's dry.
Yeah.
It doesn't rain. Like it's cold at night. That's Roswell is one street.
You both have been there,
Yeah,
right?
if you bypass Main Street, you've missed everything. The main street to be on is wherever the UFO museum, whatever street number that is. That's the only drag strip in town. It's the only.
Do you
That's
think
the only road you
aliens,
need.
do you think aliens marry?
Mm,
Do they have...
I don't think they marry.
Kane and Kodos. What do they call it? Sharing
Proteins.
sharing protein strains. Thank you, audience member X. It was on a Halloween episode where Kane and Kodos are holding hands, and they said, "How else do you expect us to share proteins?" Or the one where,
That just takes all the fun out of it.
I mean, it's not wrong.
Honey, would you like to share proteins? Not tonight.
Yeah, sorry, I need my proteins intact.
Yeah.
Nice.
Once again.
Once again, show
right in the
Grimes
ditch.
doing.
Right in the ditch. It's like it used to be smooth and flowing. We haven't had a few months. Nobody knows what to say.
You got to take pills for smooth and flowing out. Get it right in the toilet.
Shit
You're good.
flies. Okay.
So while you've been gone, I want to bring up a news story that I talked about. I've been talking about this because it kills me. And I don't know what's wrong with me to laugh at this story because it's a series of unfortunate events that keep becoming more unfortunate. The tagline is "Clap if you like a good balloon story." Remember this. Clap if you like a good balloon story.
I do.
Little 10-year-old girl up in Milwaukee, that's Algonquin for the good land, finds what she believes to be a funny-looking balloon in the playground of her school. Picks it right up, puts it in her mouth, starts blowing. The kid's like, well, that's a funny-looking balloon. Someone goes to get a teacher, and guess what? It's not a balloon. It is a condom. And not just any condom, it has been a used condom.
Oh,
Story gets better. So they call the police and the paramedics. The police take the thing and they get it tested to see if it matches any perps that they have on file. Check the DNA. Came out a negative, but it did come back positive for chlamydia.
no.
Oh, man.
That was the top story on TMJ4 a couple nights ago, and I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. Is there something wrong with me?
Yes.
It's kind of
Yeah.
Poor child.
I know. Of course, poor child. I get it. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing, but I couldn't stop laughing. I'm sorry. That's why I said clap if you like.
You know why it's
good
funny?
movies.
You know why it's funny? Because it ain't you.
No, I know. And the dad
It's
is
true.
beyond unconsolable. Beyond consolable. Just pulled the kid from the school. He's threatening lawsuits. Hey, guy throws it from a car. What are you going to sue
Right.
against that? How do you stop? I don't know how you stop.
Oh.
So that was the weird. While you've been out
I didn't
sailing
even
the
hear
seas.
that one.
Yes, that's.
Welcome back to America.
Yes. Welcome back to a balloon story.
Great to be back. I will say that for those of you who are just tuning in, and I hope you stayed with us.
We might have lost them by now.
Clap if you like a good episode.
We're going to do one of these times. We're
Yeah,
gonna do it.
yeah.
But George Clinton and the group Parliament, who
Yeah.
had the album Mothership Connection, who this show is named after, with all the hype around them. I don't know, George is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he is retiring from touring. A lot of
No,
his
is he in the Hall of Fame?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right,
Yes.
good.
And they're retiring, and I know used to be his manager, now his wife. I know some guys in the band. I do know George. We've talked to him a few times. It's my all-time favorite band. And one of the guys said, "Yeah, George is retiring. We Googled Mothership, and we saw some spaceships and shit." That was us.
Nice.
That fuss was us.
Yeah, because
Hey.
if you Google the Mothership Connection,
Yeah.
it's page upon page upon page
Oh,
of
it's
George
just
Clinton.
their
and P-Funk.
band.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but they found us.
Oh, we're findable. It's there.
We're
Yeah,
the first ones, though, if you look up channel, though. So we're the most popular among channels with that
Right.
name. A couple others tried to use it, but we got that tagline. We are youtube.com/the Mothership Connection.
Right.
We
Good.
claimed it. So that's good.
So there.
And also, as far as news stories goes, a connection of audience member X, aka Brian, has shown me photographic evidence of Bigfoot. I have to get the picture so I can post it on our Facebook.
I was just on a
page.
cruise ship. I saw Big Butt live. And if my phone would have been able to take, I climbed up on the chimney of the ship.
Oh wait, so you had the sighting of the Kraken.
Oh, no.
Well, the funny thing is,
Zing.
it's like, I'm pretty laid back, and I don't, when I'm off stage, I try not to bother anybody. But these people, you can't help notice them. They'll go to the buffet. There's a comma in the number of times that they go back and forth, and then they got the giant Diet Coke. You just see the entire bison's rectum. And it's the biggest land mammal I've ever seen in my entire life.
You gotta warn people
14
when you eat them like
desserts.
that.
Oh,
And-
Augustus glue.
And the Diet Coke with the pinky sticking out, 12,001 calories. You know, they're both popping a wheelie. You know, and the statistic I heard at the end of the cruise was, at the end of cruises, people eat so much that 2 out of 3 people are 3 out of 4 people.
Ouch.
Okay. Let's get paranormal. Let's get.
And you don't count yourself
Yeah.
as one of those people,
Oh
do you?
no! I just watched the circus.
Yeah. Well,
Woodward
I've seen
squeaks
people
and out come the
at
freaks.
buffets and salad bars, and they're always going for the most. If you're gonna have a salad bar, you figure it should be a healthy choices. But no, they don't do that. They go for the most unhealthy of toppings, half a gallon of dressing.
When you're gargling with Thousand Island dressing, I don't think that's going to be a good.
No,
Weight
I'm
loss
sorry.
measure.
Yeah.
But it's always the thing. Like when you go to the buffet, it's not it's all you can eat all you can. You get dyslexic, you want to make your $6.95 back. I don't want to just have a good meal. I want to put these people out of business. By the time I get to my dessert, I want them to be putting up the boards, the plywood. And I want them out of business. I want to just I won't ever let them back again. You wouldn't feel guilty about it.
Anyone can reference episode of The Simpsons where Homer goes to an all-you-eat buffet and they kicked him out. He went to the Frying Dutchman and tried to eat all the shrimp he could, and he ate so much they kicked him out. And he was horribly upset because he wasn't full. It was all you can eat, and he wasn't done eating all he could eat. So they cut a deal, and they put Homer in the window of the show. Come see Bottomless Pete. So he opened the window. There's Homer just shoveling the food in, and Marge is all upset. But that's how they won. So they used him as advertising, so he could just eat everything. Thank you, Simpsons, once again.
I don't go to buffets that often.
No, because I don't
Really?
trust open food in front of people.
Oh.
I think the last
You
time
hear the
I was
horror
actually
story.
at a buffet What was the place we went to all the time before the radio show?
The Golden Corral.
No, the hoo-ha. We went to the hoo-ha.
Oh,
Oh,
Hoo-ha, yeah.
that's a
Hoo-ha's
buffet there?
Well,
You put it together yourself and then they fry it. So
Oh,
they're cooking the
sort
stuff.
of.
what's
yeah.
Mongolian?
Yeah.
I still have to go there. I heard it's really good.
It
It's
is
really good.
It is
Okay,
really
good.
Oh, it's good.
I still have a $10 gift card from last year when we went to that event for Channel 14.
Oh, that's
I still have that.
That's
'Cause I
right.
think Brian
that's right.
gave it to me.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, and as far as news, Mothership news goes, one of the episodes we did where I did a Ouija board live on the air, still one of my favorite all-time episodes. A story group out of Antioch asked me to go to their story group and retell that story. Big hit. They loved it. They absolutely loved it.
Good.
It's a good story to tell.
It is a good story to tell. There's something that's why the whole show existed in the first place.
Right. It was
Because
fun.
All
It's fun
these
to do.
things that you hear bits and pieces when you're a kid. Ouija boards, flying saucers, Bigfoot. What else?
Littlefoot.
Littlefoot, clubfoot, foot and a half, foot long hot dog.
I mean,
Footloose.
I was sold more when I saw the face on Mars. That sealed the deal for me. And if anyone knows what that is, you Google face on Mars. It looks like a human hominid face on. Everyone's like, well, it's just the way the wind shapes the mountains, you see. Well, you don't see that in the Grand Tetons. You don't see somebody's face on it.
Mm-mm.
So, I mean, it looks a little suspicious to not be made by something. It's my opinion.
Right.
But that's what drew me into all that. Bigfoot, too. That was the first one I ever got into.
And you know, I don't think they would keep bringing this stuff up. There's smoke, there's fire. I'm not saying it's exactly how they say it is, but people have been seeing a lot of things for a lot of years, and there's a lot of people that crept into a cave to crap, crept into a cave and crap, and then see the hieroglyphics on the wall, and there are flying saucers and ghost type things and just weirdo stuff that we haven't even delved into. That's why we're in your basement talking about it.
Yeah, another one of my favorite shows, it's on the Science Channel. It's called What on Earth? With all these satellites take all these images and they try to figure out what the hell it is that they're looking at. It's a great show, by the way. I mean, there's usually an explanation for these sorts of things. History and Science Channel, they're my new favorite channels to watch. Especially Josh Gates, he's on Expedition Unknown. He's one of my... I would love to meet Josh Gates one of these days. He's hard to get a hold of. But they went into some of the... I forgot the name. One of the pyramids in Mexico, one of the Aztec Mayans. And in the bottom of this thing, they found mercury.
Okay.
Well, why in the hell is mercury? I mean, there's so many things that they don't know. There's so many mysteries with the pyramids, with the Mayan. I mean, they're still finding stuff. There's still whole cities that they haven't even dug out yet. They can see the mountains and the trees. Those aren't mountains. That's pyramids buried under all this stuff. There's whole civilizations they haven't found yet. That's what's so exciting. You don't know what they're going to dig up next. Good shows to watch.
Yeah.
Keeps us motivated.
Well, hopefully, as we dream big, sitting in your basement in the secret location, we would like to go and do a show from Progressive Mexico. Wouldn't it be great to do a live
Oh,
show?
That'd be pretty awesome.
As an employee of Carnival Cruise
As long as I
Lines,
get some soup, we good.
I do get a discount, so we'll have to sell a kidney and have a can drive or something, whatever it takes. Maybe some donations from a rich viewer. We'll run it off your taxes, but that would be great just to see it down there. And I heard all kinds of stuff about it. I didn't get a chance to go on this particular time, but the next time they said yes, we'll give you a discount, you get to go through it, and you basically walk all day and you don't see it all.
Also, Mexico, they have a lot of sightings of witches or flying people. If you haven't seen that, there's images on Google. Flying people in Mexico, it's the craziest thing because it looks like people are floating.
Oh.
I don't know where they're getting these images from, but it looks insane. And we haven't really done much on that. But anyone out there in internet's land, Google flying people in Mexico. It's
Because
crazy.
if there's a wall, this is when they're going to get a flyer on
They
the
have to
wall.
train to get
Well,
it.
we're not talking about people
Mexican
jumping off
pole
walls.
vaulters.
They just look like that they're hovering. It's really bizarre. I can't explain.
What about the Mothman?
I hope he doesn't fly towards the light. We got problems.
Well, is that a Mexican thing? That was in,
No, Mothman prophecies. That was in West Virginia, Pennsylvania. That had to do with Chief Cornstalk. He put a curse on the land and all this. I'll have to drudge up.
Chief Cornstalk.
Maybe in the next episode, I'll drudge up my report. I did a whole thing. I did a whole thing on that. By God, I'm gonna find my
Isn't
thing.
I don't want to say this wrong, Chupacabra also, like
Chupacabra
Mexican
is
lore?
big Mexican one, yeah.
Yeah.
That and more or less they can never figure
Goat
out.
sucker, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goat sucker?
They can never figure out what
Yeah,
it is,
goat
but it's
sucker.
usually dogs with mange.
Those are the chupacabras?
Yes, this is exciting me rifling through paper.
Lots of notes.
Alright. Sorry, I'll plug your ears.
Yes.
A little wind.
I'm probably not going to find it this episode, but I did a whole thing on it when I find the thing.
Secret.
Yes, because it was really kind of cool because I'd never heard of it before. Yeah, I'm never gonna find
You ever
it.
heard of chupacabras before?
No, I mean the whole Chief Cornstalk curse of the Mothman thing. The Mothman was seen by a bunch of people, and they couldn't figure out what it was. But then all the people who had seen it started having all these premonitions. And one of the people had a premonition about seeing things floating down a river. They saw gifts and cars floating down the river months ahead of time. They couldn't figure it out. Well, a bridge collapsed that connected Pennsylvania and I forget Virginia.
West
Right,
Virginia.
Yeah.
right, connects West Virginia. Had broken on 2 days before Christmas. And all these cars sank, and all these gifts and cars are floating in the river. This guy saw it happen, but he also saw a Mothman too. Mothman gave him a vision. Also, his name Mothman because he didn't know what else to call it. They got the name from an old-timey 1960s Batman show. Because there was a bad guy called the Mothman, who just a guy in a brown suit. Right? Evil name was Mothman. But people describing what they saw kind of described that, so that's how the Mothman got named. But it's actually a curse put on the land by Chief Cornstalk, one of the Indian tribes at the time, who was killed, and he put a curse on the land. I guess that's the gist, but
To the
I've got
Mothmobile.
better stuff here somewhere. I'll find it, by God.
Okay.
But I probably sucked all the life out of it anyways, because it's pretty much...
But everywhere you go now, even especially in the smaller countries, I've been going to the Caribbean, and those people, I don't want to say they're backwards. That's not the right term. They are behind. Well, technology. There's not a whole lot of technology down there. Every one of those little tiny countries has a legend. If you really talk to them, you might have to ask 2 or 3 people. Talk to that him, her, grandma, whatever, and there's always some kind of legend in the town about some kind of ghost that eats people or climbs up out of the lake or something. It's cool.
Something that climbs out of the lake. I'll buy that, man. Hey,
You gotta go
you saw the Kraken live and in person. I mean, anything can climb off the water.
You never know.
But don't wait for me rifling through stuff.
Okay.
I'm probably never gonna find it.
This is called continuity.
It's called Well, I didn't know we were gonna be talking about it.
I didn't know we were going to
Anyways.
be filming tonight. I don't want
Mothman
underwear.
Prophecies. It was a good movie. Gene, Officer and a Gentleman. What's his face?
Gene, Richard Gere.
Richard Gere. I know there's a G in there somewhere. Richard Gere was in the Mothman Prophecies. Good movie.
Now, okay, I got to know about the gerbil. Richard
Oh,
Gere's
I
gerbil.
don't.
I have not heard about this.
Wasn't
Not
the
heard
rumor
about
that
it?
didn't he put a gerbil somewhere?
No. Supposedly there was a gerbil. Richard Gere went to the emergency ward, and not a joke. Allegedly, supposedly, they found a gerbil in his rear closet.
Okay.
And it's amazing to me that that rumor is so persistent. I don't know how long it was. I heard a rumor about Rod Stewart. Anybody over probably 35 or 40?
I don't know the Rod Stewart.
You know the Rod Stewart one either?
Oh, come on.
Well, we're not on cable, so I can say supposedly Rod Stewart. This is when I was a kid. Went to the hospital and they pumped 16 ounces. Why 16 ounces of sperm with a stomach pump out of his stomach?
What?
I mean,
I don't.
it was one powerful hurricane.
I'm saying, but I heard it.
when you're thirsty, you're thirsty. I guess you're short on
Just
water.
down a few cold ones.
I don't know how raunchy we're going here, but you heard about the Marilyn Manson one, right? Where
Well, I heard
he
that
took
one.
off his own rib just to do stuff to himself.
Pleasure himself
Yep.
with his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess he's hung like a tail of a jaguar, so they say.
A baby's arm holding an apple.
Anywho, we tell you, as usual, went off the rails on that
Well,
one.
there's no FCC. We're on the internet.
That's true.
So fuck you. I mean that in a friendly customer service kind of way. Like, bleep it out. Kids under 6. You've heard it all.
Yes.
You've said it all. You said it to Santa. I didn't get my well, yeah.
Remember, we did say spoiler warning before the show started.
Yeah, no, seriously, but you didn't hear that about Rod Stewart. As I grew up, and I traveled
Never
around the
heard that
country.
one.
I've traveled more than the average person. All 4 corners of America, all across Canada. That was, and then the Richard Gere one came. They found a gerbil in his blood.
Maybe those two are traveling together for some reason.
But I just think it's one of those. You ever play the game telephone in school?
Yeah.
where you start with a
Whisper to someone.
whisper to someone in for 28, 30 minutes, and what you start with and what you end with is never even close
Right.
to being the same. So I think Richard Gere went to the car rental place and says, "Did this car go fast? You got a gerbil in your ass."
I mean, isn't that like old-fashioned mnemology, where you start a rumor and it ends off, or you start something
That's my
and
point.
it comes and goes. I've always called that the Jess Spicoli theory. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Jess Spicoli calls Mr. Hand a dick because he couldn't eat a pizza in class,
Yes.
and by the
Yes.
time it got to lunch hours, he drew a
him
knife
up,
on him and
yeah.
tried to kill him. So that's how stories change. So whoever knows what.
So the point is, I really think ask the next 10 people you meet. What did you hear a story about Richard Gere and a gerbil? I just
Yeah.
want to know what age it stopped at.
Did you guys hear about this before?
Audience
See,
members
yeah.
are shaking
We
their
have
head.
two
Yes.
audience members.
Huh.
Yes.
Yep. We have,
We're old.
Dos Amigos.
I just have
audio-
never heard that
audio-
rumor.
We have an actual
I've never
photo
heard
of the gerbil.
He has his story to tell.
Exactly.
Later at 9.
With a mouthful of peanuts.
That's the only way he'd cooperate.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Feed him.
Talk!
But the point is, these are innocuous rumors, but what other kind of rumors have gotten out that have made the mainstream that will not go away?
I'm going to start the rumor that the gerbil had tunnel vision.
I just hope it had trimmed its nails. You want a hangnail up there, you're...
I mean, maybe you train the gerbil for colonoscopies now. I mean, you got to get a camera in there somewhere.
No, that's not fun. I'm to the age now when I'm supposed to have a colonoscopy, and I think I was going to try a selfie. Trying to send that in.
Yeah.
Cheese.
I just had an ultrasound of my kidneys because my new urologist wanted to have a new look inside. It didn't go well.
No.
No, that's a story not for airs.
Now you have abnormal and space alien kidneys, don't you? You have
I do.
different pipes. Do you ever hear those kidneys?
I have double ureters coming out of both kidneys. Medical rarity.
So it's like being double jointed or having
Probably not.
toes.
Probably not. Just means I don't have to go to the bathroom every couple hours. It's every 12 hours, maybe.
So you got
longer.
like side pipes, like dual
Yes,
exhaust.
I have dual exhaust. Quadruple
Audience, we hate
exhaust.
to be rude. We hate to be rude and do a show while our audience is talking. Sorry about that. They're not even listening.
Yeah, it's alright.
Sorry to do a show while you're talking.
Well, we got 3 minutes left anyways.
All right. We'll end this one. This is going to be the Christmas reel.
Yeah.
The worst of the mothership.
Yeah.
WURST.
The gerbil
We
gang
gotta have an
reel.
ugly sweater episode.
Yeah. Okay.
I could put some. I'll put some Christmas decorations down here that I could do.
Is Christmas something that you still like it after all these years?
No,
I do.
I work retail and I hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Can't stand
At a
it.
grocery store?
Yep.
People go Christmas shopping at a grocery store?
Well, it's the days
I wouldn't
leading
call it
up
shopping.
to
I'd
it.
call it Mortal Kombat.
It's the days leading up
So
to
for
it.
the food for the big Christmas meal.
Oh yeah.
Peace on earth, goodwill toward men.
And if you're out of one thing, they will swear at you up and down and forget all about the holidays.
La 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 la.
I've seen people fight over celery. I'm not making that up. Each of them have the last stalk of celery. Mine, I saw it first. Mine,
2
I saw it
minutes.
first. I've seen people fight over food. Like people, there's plenty. There's plenty. Stop fighting. Stop it. It's
Go to
not.
a different store.
Well, people shopping as a whole. One other quick thing, I saw something that I've never seen before. People bring in their service animals, and I've seen every kind of service animal: dogs, cats,
Gerbils.
pigeons, gerbils,
The
ducks,
service gerbil.
geese, parrots, parakeets. Seen them all. The little lady brought in a terrier to the store. I'm not going to mention where, how, or why. Anyways, I'm stocking something, and I smell something. I'm like,
Oh no.
she's 110 years old. Maybe she passed wind. I mean, we don't know. And someone behind me is tugging me. Look behind you. So look at the ground, and there was a trail left by the dog. See, looks like it was a month behind its fertilizer order,
Oh.
and it left piles. So I went to go find something to clean up said piles. And the items I was going to use, I was fighting with someone because that person didn't want me to use these items to clean these up because you can't have this stuff touch feces. Like, what the hell else am I? So while we're arguing, guess what people are doing? Stepping in it, walking in it, pushing carts through it. People, come on,
Got
watch
about-
where you're walking.
Minute.
What'd you call them? The aristocrats. That's a very inside joke. I don't know if anybody got that.
Anyways, things you can't make up. real things happen.
I
that you
I
can't
used to work
think
at Sears, which is now a thing of the past. I worked there in high school. I was in the muffler department in the auto counting mufflers with all my brains, hopes, looks, and dreams. That's what I could muster in high school.
of. Oddly enough, that's what the gerbil was doing.
Counting mufflers.
mufflers.
Yeah. And they used to have the little bathroom setups, you know, the bottle that you go in there and buy if you're remodeling your house. Somebody dropped a deuce